So finally, this episode we get introduced to the other vampires. I'm guessing Nazuna's group or whatever. The rest of um the vampires, and thankfully, they're not our typical, egotistical group. They're actually, very logical and reasonable. Um, and the reason that they explained why they did kidnapped Kokun like they did, and they explained it very logically, and it sounds very logical. And the reason was that because now, since he knows that there the vampires exist, the information might leak out or something, and so they have two plans from either one. Choose one of them to become a vampire, or two, just kill him. And luckily for Kokun, he explains, their agreement with his agreement with Nazuna, that um, basically, like, she gets to suck my blood, but it just depends on me whenever I fall in love with her, then I'll become one. And then I also want to mention that I guess the one that looks like the leader of the group, the one with the red hair, she says that you might spill the information that vampires actually do exist to like the wrong people. And I feel like that's something like that'll probably be important in the later episodes, that someone like law enforcement would try to not capture them, but kill them, because I guess in history, vampires are considered evil beings, pretty much demons, and a police officer or whatever might take the ideologies too far, and he'll think he's doing God's work by killing these vampires. So it's very logical as to why they wanted to have this chat with Kokun on becoming a vampire. But after he explains the situation to the group, he also says it doesn't matter how many years it takes for me to become a vampire, I will become a vampire. And everyone kind of freezes up, like they heard something wrong, and Nazuna kind of also froze up, like, oh, that you said something that shouldn't be said, and the episode ends like that. So I am very curious as to what he said was wrong. To my understanding, right now, I don't believe he didn't say. I don't think he said anything wrong. I think what they consider wrong is the amount of time, because he says years, and so I'm kind of, that might have like triggered when the vampire's like, oh, can't take years or anything. Like, that's not how it worked. It's supposed to be like maybe a couple of months at most, but not years. So maybe, hopefully, we get that explanation, in the next episode, as to why they reacted the way they did when he said that. But right now that I'm currently thinking about it, maybe it's a situation where like it's supposed to only take a few months, and or maybe there's actually a time limit onto how much times Nazuna is allowed to suck your blood, and if you don't turn into a vampire before then, either the other group members might kill you, or you're just not you you might not become one because of like the many tries they've done. So hopefully they explain more on next episode, and just let us know what that about. But overall, it was a very good episode, I think. Like I said, I'm very glad we got the introduction of the rest of the vampires, and I'm just thankful that they're logical human beings like us, and not the cliched egotistical people thinking that they're the ones that rule the world. And I appreciate that, because one thing in leadership that I see that's missed in anime is logic and kind of like cautiousness. So at least she's cautious of that there might be people like law enforcement that when they hear vampires exist, they might go on a mission to eliminate said vampires. And it's obvious the leader doesn't want that. So I think I'm grateful that she's very logical in that sense. But yeah, I very much like this episode and enjoyed my time watching it, and it definitely gets me excited for, I believe, next episode. So please leave a like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts and opinions. Thank you, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.